Controversial flags, onstage meltdowns, and a rumored MAGA romance. Kid Rock may have started out as a brash Detroit rapper, but his transformation to country star with a direct line to the White House has been unusual. Before he was Kid Rock, he was Robert James Ritchie, son of successful Detroit auto dealer Bill Ritchie and his wife Susan. Growing up in an environment of relative privilege, the future Kid Rock and his family lived in a sprawling 5,660 square foot home situated on a ranch outside of Detroit. Rock told Cowboys and Indians magazine, "I had a very, very comfortable upbringing, and I'm not ashamed at all to say I was raised in a very upper middle class family. My father likes to joke that I'm the only rock star he knows of who doesn't have to support his parents."
Even though my family was middle class and made it to the middle upper class, I'm proud of that.
As a teenager, Rock began listening to rap music and soon began rapping himself. He teamed up with some like-minded kids to form a rap group, the Beast Crew, in the mid-1980s. It was during his time as a member of the Beast Crew that Rock met D-Nice, who rapped alongside KRS-One and DJ Scott LaRock in Boogie Down Productions. D-Nice was impressed with the young, aspiring rapper. After exiting the Beast Crew and going solo, Rock eventually nabbed a gig opening for Boogie Down Productions. He was also putting his raps down in demo recordings. Producer Mike E. Clark cut some of those early demos in the 1980s and admitted he was initially dubious that an affluent white kid could rap. Clark told the Detroit Free Press, "But he shut me up. He had his turntable, had his beats, his stuff already written. He had his together and blew me away." That was how Kid Rock got his stage name. As noted in American Songwriter, people began turning up at his shows to see that white Kid Rock. After embracing the name Kid Rock, his fan base in Detroit began growing. Joe Newport ran the 1,800-seat Ritz Theater and recalled the aspiring young rapper approaching him about putting on a show there. Newport told the Detroit Free Press, "He came in pretty cocky. I'm going to fill this place. We did the gig and he put 1,200 people in there. I was blown away." While his success was growing in the Detroit rap scene, Rock's father was skeptical of his son's choices. Rock told Cowboys and Indians, "There was not a lot of support there, and I understand why. I was very young, and I'm on the other side of town doing parties and shows with turntables and these things. And they were like, 'You don't even play an instrument. What are you doing?'"
My dad didn't understand anything that was going on.
Despite that lack of parental support, Rock persevered. He explained, "At a young age, I knew I had this bug, and I knew I was prepared to work hard enough no matter how long it took. I didn't have anything to fall back on. Failure wasn't really an option." Rock was just 17 when he signed with Jive Records. In 1990, the label released his debut album, Grit Sandwiches for Breakfast. However, the album was a flop, with Rolling Stone later describing it as terribly generic. Rock's time with Jive proved to be fleeting. As Mike E. Clark told the Detroit Free Press, the popularity of another white rapper led Jive to drop him from the label, saying, "In 1990, Vanilla Ice came out and stunk things up, so Jive decided they didn't want a white rapper anymore." But Rock was undeterred, and his fan base continued growing. Before long, he began producing his own albums independently, including 1993's The Polyfuse Method and 1996's Early Mornin' Stoned Pimp. He recalled to Cowboys and Indians, "It really didn't happen for me probably until when I put out an independent record with a small loan and sold 14,000 copies out of my basement." Kid Rock's self-released albums generated a lot of buzz in Detroit. That did not go unnoticed by Andy Karp, vice president of A&R at Atlantic Records, who attended one of Rock's shows and was blown away. When Atlantic offered Rock a record deal and a $150,000 advance, he immediately seized the opportunity. Recognizing that a major label was prepared to invest in him, he also felt the pressure of producing a major label debut that would make an impact. Rock told Cowboys and Indians, "I finally had a real shot. I wasn't going to blow that. The pressure was on, and I gave it everything I had." The result of those pressure cooker recording sessions was Devil Without a Cause, in which his signature mix of rock and rap emerged, seemingly fully formed. Released in 1999, the album went on to sell 14 million copies.
Keith Richards ain't even got nothing on me.
As Kid Rock established himself and what became his signature brand of party-hardy rap rock, he set out to bring his live performance skills to fans who only knew him from his albums. He began as an opening act for other artists until a high-profile slot at Woodstock '99 propelled him to tour as a headliner. A big part of his live shows in those days was Joseph Kalea, aka Joe C., who served as Rock's onstage hype man in his band, Twisted Brown Trucker. Standing just 3'9", his childlike appearance didn't match his foul mouth, which was on full display during Rock's shows. Joe C. first entered Kid Rock's orbit as a fan who kept showing up at shows until the rapper invited him backstage, when everything clicked. Sadly, Joe died in his sleep in November 2000, just as Kid Rock's career was catching fire. Rock said in a statement at the time, "We have lost a part of our family. He brought a smile to everyone who has ever known or seen him. In a world full of confusion, Joey made all of us laugh." Devil Without a Cause may have been Kid Rock's fourth album, but it was his major label debut that sent him skyrocketing to stardom. Its success, however, upped the ante when it came to producing his follow-up, Cocky, which arrived in 2001. It was hardly the out-of-the-box hit that Devil was. Shortly after debuting in Billboard's Top 20, Cocky began tanking. 3 singles were released, but none made the same kind of impact as those from his earlier album. Rock, however, battled his label by insisting the track Picture be released as a single. Atlantic execs thought that the sensitive, country-tinged duet with Sheryl Crow was too far off base from the party-loving image his fans had come to embrace. The label was wrong. Picture rocketed close to the top of the charts, soaring to number 4 on Billboard's Hot 100 and spending 34 weeks on the chart. Not only did it save Cocky from fading into obscurity, Picture remains his highest charting single. In April 2001, Rock met Pamela Anderson at a tribute concert for Aretha Franklin. They got engaged in April 2002, split in June that next year. A few years later, in July 2006, the two reconnected while aboard the yacht of a mutual friend and quickly rekindled their romance. This time, however, he was ready to spring into action, and they married that same month. In less than 4 months, Anderson filed for divorce. She later confirmed the divorce came about because of Sacha Baron Cohen's Borat movie. She wrote in her memoir, "Love, Pamela. I didn't tell Bob I was in the movie because I wanted to surprise him. I forgot about the part in the film that referenced the sex tape. Bob stormed out calling me a and worse. He was embarrassed, and his reaction was not thought through."
It's like I just feel like I just jump into something because, Tommy and I did, and we had this, incredible connection.
Over the years, Rock followed a musical path that wasn't always predictable. The 2007 album, Rock and Roll Jesus, embraced a full-on Southern rock sound. The result was his first #1 album, selling a respectable 5 million copies. He made an even more dramatic shift in 2010 with the release of Born Free, his first foray into country music. Meanwhile, there was one element of Kid Rock's stage shows that had not aged well: the Confederate flag. In 2011, he accepted the Great Expectations Award from the Detroit chapter of the NAACP. Outside the venue, however, protesters burned a Confederate flag, making clear their feelings about Kid Rock displaying it at his concerts. While accepting his award, he told the audience that he never flew the flag with hate in his heart, according to the Detroit Free Press. Rock's publicist, Nick Stern, told the newspaper that was when he decided he'd stop using it. Rock himself told Rolling Stone why he'd gravitated toward the flag, explaining, "I was using the Confederate flag because I love Lynyrd Skynyrd, and I think it just looks cool."
It is America, so fly if he wants to, but he has to deal with the consequences.
When Donald Trump announced his candidacy for president back in 2015, Rock was one of the first celebrities to come out in support. He told Rolling Stone, "I'm digging Donald Trump. My feeling? Let the business guy run it like a business."
He is the commander-in-chief, but having a businessman in chief.
Ever since then, he's been a strong supporter of Trump. Rock even performed at the 2024 Republican National Convention and Trump's 2025 inauguration. In a subsequent interview with Rolling Stone, he explained why he felt Trump should be in charge of the U.S., saying, "You think I like Trump because he's a nice guy? I'm not electing the deacon of a church. That mother likes to win. He likes to cheat in his golf game. I want that guy on my team." Rock also noted that he's well aware of Trump's polarizing effect and the risk that publicly supporting the controversial MAGA movement could have on his popularity with fans. He added, "When I doubled down on it, I knew that could be a career ender, but I was betting that there were a lot of like-minded people out there." Controversy and Kid Rock go hand in hand, and one of his strangest moments came in February 2025 while he performed in Nashville. Rock was appearing as a special guest during a special birthday celebration for Bon Jovi's keyboard player, David Bryan. While singing the Creedence Clearwater Revival classic Proud Mary, he became annoyed when the crowd refused to clap along as he'd instructed. As seen in a video taken by an audience member, Rock told the crowd, "If you ain't gonna clap, we ain't gonna sing. That's how it's gonna go." He resumed the song for a few more verses, but the lackluster clapping clearly irked him. Rock told the audience, "You know what, y'all, you ain't gonna clap, I'm gone." He then stormed off stage. After divorcing Pamela Anderson, Rock moved on with Audrey Berry. After a 7-year engagement, the two reportedly broke up in 2024. That appeared to be true when Kid Rock was spotted in 2025 with Lauren Boebert, with the two getting into a taxi during the early morning hours after leaving a Washington, D.C. party together. TMZ offered more details, revealing that the rocker and the recently divorced Colorado congresswoman had hit it off while attending a party celebrating the inauguration of Donald Trump. The site reported, Lauren was totally transfixed by the rock star, yapping away, doing a little dance, and clapping like she was front row at his concert, basically giving Kid Rock all the hype he needed. When TMZ asked Boebert point-blank if they were dating, she offered a coy response and neither confirmed nor denied the rumors, saying, "Y'all with all your stories. Mom won't stop asking for concert tickets, so that's the problem I'm facing now."